Kansas City Chiefs, and a dominating performance by the Buccaneers on both sides of the football. Offensively with Brady, we'll talk about him, but also the defense be able to hold the Chiefs to just 9 points, one of the more potent offenses we've had in the league in the last several years. To get a little deeper into this, we bring in Tim Hasselbeck. And Tim, I want to dive into the X's and O's of this game and how it got to 31-9 and things of that nature. But because it is Tom Brady and because of what he accomplished in his first year in Tampa, a team that hadn't sniffed the playoffs in quite some time, at least a legitimate chance of winning a title, here he is now. 7 championships. That's more than any other franchise in the NFL. The Steelers and the Patriots each have 6, Tim. Now Brady has 7. As you sit back and sort of absorb this, what comes to your mind?
I mean, it's just hard to even comprehend, to be honest with you. When you think about just what he's accomplished, how he came into the league, how he took over New England, to have the success in New England and the debate about whether or not it was the coach or the player, and then to do it in the year that was this year, which started with throwing and working out at local high schools and getting run off the field to get to this point. It's incredible, Michael. I mean, in some ways, there aren't really words to describe what he's accomplished.
I know people are going to be talking about this for quite some time over the next several days, as they should. But when we have a chance to experience this level of greatness, Tim, in the moment, whether it was Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant or LeBron James currently, now it is Tom Brady and the impact that he has, not just on franchises, but the league as a whole. And you take a look at this game in particular, a couple of guys who scored the touchdowns in this game only came to Tampa because of Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean, the influence, the impact, how one player has made such a huge difference. Look, that's been reserved for other sports. That has not been something that's worked ever in football. It just hasn't. So I think when you look at what has been done this year in Tampa Bay with Brady, and as you say, Michael, the influence on other players, obviously a guy that caught 2 touchdown passes tonight in Rob Gronkowski, we've never seen it. We've seen people try to do things like this, but it's never had this type of result at the end.
Let's talk a little about him specifically in this game, Tim, because if you look at his performance in the box score, I mean, this was efficient. 21 for 29, 201 yards, and those 3 touchdowns. From an X's and O standpoint tonight, what did you see in Tom's game?
I think the big thing is that he was seeing it perfectly. What I mean by that was, a lot of times at the line of scrimmage, they would have packaged plays. You hear him alert to something else. The thing that Kansas City gave people a hard time with this season was their zone blitz pressures. They'd find a way to attack your pass protection and get home to the quarterback. Well, Brady did such a good job pre-snap of seeing it and getting to the right plays and getting the ball out on time that I just felt like he was kind of a step ahead of defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo for the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, I think that was really probably the thing that stuck out to me the most. And so you described it as efficient, and I think the reason it was efficient is he was able to basically have the answer before the question was ever asked.
We talk about his leadership ability, but his preparation has been top-notch since he first came into this league, and this was a perfect example of how that transpired in the game tonight, Tim. Things you were mentioning now with 7, again, Super Bowl championships. The next closest quarterback is 4. So, again, just adding to that legacy of the greatest of all time. And I do want to talk about a response that the Bucs had because they got the ball first. They went 3 and out. Chiefs go down and score 3, and all of a sudden, all right, so we're down 3-0. And then boom, 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 the Bucs just start going down the field. And that first touchdown pass to Rob Gronkowski, I thought, said quite a bit about the resiliency of Tom Brady and what that offense was going to bring in this game.
Yeah, it's a good point by you, Michael. And I think that on that drive, you have to give credit to Byron Leftwich and Bruce Arians for some of the plays that were called. They end up hitting Cameron Brate on a little tight end delay screen, which ended up being a nice, pickup for them. And then you referenced the touchdown pass to Rob Gronkowski. It's actually a run pass option, not something that Tampa Bay majors in, but it was man coverage, and Gronkowski comes across the formation, and Daniel Sorensen is reading run. He basically lets him go, which is why Rob Gronkowski was so wide open. So, yes, it was Brady, but I think you do have to give credit to, the design, of the offensive plays that they ran on that drive, and then also the timing of the play calls on that drive as well.
Yeah. All right, Tim, sit tight. We got plenty more to discuss here on the special edition of Sports Center now that the Bucs have won their second Super Bowl title. And by the way, as we mentioned, this is the first time that a team hosted the Super Bowl in its home stadium. So now you can add Tampa to the list of teams that have actually won it in their own city, right? A little difference between your stadium and your city, but there you see the Raiders winning in Pasadena and of course the 49ers as well. Well, over the last
it's just an unbelievable story. Now, Teddy, I know you've never stolen one, at least as far as I know. Have you ever lost one, though?
I have lost one. Lost one of my rings for a long period of time. It was late summer, coming back home from an appearance with my wife, Heidi, and I gave her my ring to hold, and we get home and we put everything away, and I don't wear the ring a lot. So a couple months later, when I need the ring, we can't find it. It's the third Super Bowl ring, so it's the big one, and I'm like, I like to wear this one. So it's like, where is the ring? We can't find. So I literally thought that I lost that ring. So months go by, and it's like 6 or 7 months the next time summer comes around. Now, Sam, do you ever change purses with wardrobes or seasons?
Yes, of course.
Absolutely.
I'm sure Heidi does, too.
You got a summer purse, you got a winter purse, big
Something
thing.
like that.
Sure. So the next summer came around again, almost another calendar year. Heidi comes out, I'm in the driveway. She's like, look what I found. It was in her purse.
See, she was just holding it for you. That's all.
Gosh.
It was for safety.
But we found it again. Thank goodness.
And guys don't wear them, I've noticed. How do you decide if you're going to wear them?
They've gotten so big. Like, my dad has a Super Bowl ring from Super Bowl 18 that was one here in Tampa. It's wearable. The rings that you have, your third Super Bowl ring is how big?
They get bigger, yeah. The first one usually is my favorite to wear. So, yeah.
All right, well, let's get to there's actually a connection between that story, because if you'll remember, obviously you guys remember the game, the defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo, in that game, now the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs. From his experience playing against Tom Brady, how do you think that makes an impact today, Teddy?
Well, I think Spagnuolo knows this one thing: don't let him read your mail. And defensively, what that means is don't let them know what you're in pre-snap, and that's what you're going to see, and that's what Spags knows. I mean, this is all the way from that Super Bowl year when they stole all those rings. The thieves did that. He disguised. Okay, now here's an example of linebackers in the gaps, linebackers dropping out in the corner, coming off the left defensive slot over there, but watch the linebacker as the center slides to the right. Kavik Mitchell pretend he's dropping out, then come back. This type of disguise, this type of confusing the protection is what you want against Tom Brady. Now, I'm going to show you 3 consecutive downs, okay, from the first matchup. The disguise, look at Sorensen, Thornhill, and Matthew. Look at that rotation. This is high-level stuff in terms of safety rotation, pre-snap looks. They're down in line of scrimmage here. They're dropping out to give help over the top. Sorensen ends up playing man-to-man here on the tight end. On the second down, he makes a nice little tackle right here. So now we got third down. So let's show him another different disguise. This is how complex it gets. Once again, watch these safeties. Now Sorensen is going to blitz, and you're going to have droppers that are supposed to be rushers, similar to what they did in 07 to get in the throwing lanes. Throws off Tom just a little bit, not as accurate, get hands in the throwing, and boom, you're off the field. That's what he means by not letting them read his mail, because when you do that, towards the end of the game, Tom Brady, the one quarterback that knows he wants the answers before he lets go of the ball, he'll hold it a little bit more, and that's when the pass rush comes, and that's when you finish him off, and that's when you got him.
Just to add on to that, I think one of the excellent things that Kansas City's defense does, yes, Spag has this creative, aggressive defense, but he gives the freedom to these safeties in particular. Tyrann Mathieu, Juan Thornhill, he gives the freedom to them to go make a play. So it could be, like, to the quarterback, you're looking at this is supposed to be cover 3. But listen, if those safeties want to go make a play, a la Ed Reed, a la Troy Polamalu, go make a play. Fire your gun, go make a play. And that's what I think is most dangerous. And for a veteran quarterback going up against go make a play, be offensive on defense, we don't like that usually.
You know, the number one thing that I've been talking about since week 1 of Tampa Bay is how are they going to protect Tom Brady. I said this coming after bye. I seen something different in the Tampa Bay Bucs. You know, the offensive line Coach Moore, one of the best that there ever was. I think him and Dante Scarnecchia ranks up there. But when I look at Coach Spagnuolo being able to try to flush Tom Brady in this offense, Brew, you put up a great tape, because I remember in 07 seeing that A pressure of Mitchell dropping out and then coming back.